What's special about Valor Christian School International is that we really take an approach where we want to get our kids out in the world. We want them to understand the world, in the larger context of the world, and we want them to be able to see how what they're learning in their education can make a difference in the world. So in order to do that, we really emphasize getting kids to do things in the classrooms that are applicable to real life. We don't want to just have them, sit there and memorize things out of a book. We want them engaging with the material, engaging with the subject matter. It's important that we maintain a really high level of excellence.
We're very passionate about finding our strengths and weaknesses in the student and the individual learner. So all children learn differently. We all learn differently. Some are kinesthetic, some are audio, some are visual learners. We like to find out how each child learns and then take that to their highest potential.
We try to be innovative in different ways. For example, we use MAP scores to help us as teachers really understand our students. So a student will take a MAP test in math, and instead of it just being one score, it actually gives us a breakdown of their areas. And then as a math teacher, I can go back and say, hey, you do really well in the geometry part, but you're not so good in the numbers and probability. So let's work on fixing this area and help you see big gains across the board. And that helps the student because it makes them feel more confident and excited about their comprehension of math, but also helps us as a teacher because then instead of it just being one blanket that I'm applying to every kid, I can be individualized and apply specifically for this child.
Within each classroom, students are participating in Math Workshop. Math Workshop is where teachers create curriculum that adheres to each child's learning abilities, whether it's focusing on a geometry focus, whether it's having a multiplication. Here we focus on, what does your child need and how can we meet them where they are? Finding that sweet spot where it's not too hard, but also not too easy. If it's too hard, they're going to find out they were going to want to give up. Too easy, they're going to slack off. And so finding that sweet spot where, it's challenging, but you're also loving where you're at.
My teacher makes my math and homework fun. Mrs. T makes math fun because when we do math, she, instead of just writing stuff down, she makes it into a fun way. And sometimes we work in groups and sometimes we work alone. I love Mrs. Ely because she does fun stuff with me.
We also use MAP scores to inform us in English and reading. So students will take their MAP test and we'll be able to really pinpoint what level of reader they are, where they're struggling, so is it in word recognition or informational text, and then we can use that in not only English but also in science and in history to help build them. So for example, a lot of students, you'll see lower scores in informational text. So as a science teacher, that really helps me because I can go back in and I can say, well, I have this really neat text looking at how genetics affects people with, let's say, diabetes. And then the students can read that, work on their informational text skills, and also incorporate that into our biology and science content.
During coding time, we have a specialist come in and teach the kids how to code through the program Scratch. Each child has access to a computer where they then get specialized instruction on how to use Scratch in coding. Teachers then use this time to intertwine it with their personal teaching lesson plans, whether it's pulling in reading or pulling in math or pulling in science, and incorporating Scratch into their day-to-day teaching.
So this year we're really excited to offer AP literature and then also AP government, and our fantastic teachers actually went away on a big training and really were able to learn how to successfully teach AP. So it's not even just teaching to the test, but also teaching the content that will affect their lives in future. For example, our students actually went on a field trip and were able to go down to the federal courthouse and watch a federal trial in action and then come back and then debrief about that in their English and history classes. In addition, we also offer many college credit classes on campus. So this year we're offering college credit engineering, which is exciting because the students actually are getting the credit for free through University of Texas, Austin, and they're working with a college down in Texas to complete college credit work in engineering. Next year we'll be offering college credit anatomy, and we'll also be offering college credit environmental science, which is fun because that's a partnership that we have with Portland Community College. So our students will be able to have free college credits that will help them not only get to have more rigorous content, but also a little taste of the college experience